Good morning to the hordes of the public that have turned out to watch democracy in action. To the officers who are taking a keen interest, they seem to be thinning out in numbers too. I'm just going to start with the karakia this morning. Whakatakata hau ki te uru, whakatakata hau ki te tonga. Kia makinakina ki uta, kia mataratara ki tai. E hiake ana te atakura, he tio, he huka, he hauhu, tihei, mauri ora. Now, just a reminder to councillors that we are live streaming again for the masses this morning, and welcome to the final council meeting of the year. And also a big warm welcome and congratulations to Councillor Fitzsimons. Great to see you here. It wasn't necessary, but we appreciate your commitment. I hope everything's going well so far. You're getting plenty of sleep, and good luck for the next 5 years. Yeah. But congratulations, it's wonderful to see you here. So anything we can do to help, great. It wouldn't be the first time we've had a child asleep under the council table, so very welcome. Look, councillors, or a councillor asleep at the table. No one in particular. Councillors, just a quick summary of some of the year's things. Like, I want to say thank you, everybody, for all of the work you've done this year. I think it's been an incredibly successful year. I think we've worked really well together. And I just want to thank you for the great work that you've undertaken. Just a few of the highlights. Look, we've unreinforced masonry, we've undertaken 113 strengthenings or pinning back of facades in the city. We've made the city safer. I want to thank those landlords for doing that work, but ultimately we were the ones that pushed through that legislation along with central government. We launched Predator Free and Capital Kiwi. Predator Free's been 25 years in the making, but Capital Kiwi's just getting underway, and I think we're going to see a huge transformation of that natural environment. We became a living wage council, the first accredited council in the country, and that's having a ripple effect around the city. We're investing in our libraries network. Sheesh, the Johnsonville Library, it's big, and it's going to be fantastic. What a wonderful investment for the northern suburbs, and thank you for your support. Online portal for consents. We want to make consents simpler. We want to have a one-stop shop. We've now got, I think, 27 councils that have bought into that process, and a New Zealand First initiative, not the political party, but a wonderful initiative where councils are working together to make consents easier. The Karori framework, the good work that has commenced in terms of the town centre plan is great. We've built 104 apartments at Tamara, and we've well underway with our first apartment conversion, with more to come in the new year. We're getting on with the St James strengthening, the ballet building. The temporary one is going up next year and will look fantastic as well. And the town hall work is very close to getting underway. And of course, we did the unreinforced masonry strengthening there too. Convention centre, we'll decide tomorrow. Let's get Wellington moving in the new year. A couple of biggies that we've made a lot of progress on this year. We've opened more cycleways, smooth rides, limited impact on the public, but I think benefits to the broader Wellington public as well. And thank you to all the councillors that were here yesterday for the most recent one. And on a final positive high note, we've had a new baby in the council as well, so well done to Fleur. It's been a great year. Next year's going to be even better. I'm looking forward to it. But I just do want to say, I hope you all have time to relax, to hang out with your family, to enjoy the sunshine, hopefully a little bit of surf as well. And thank you for the good work. I know that nerves do tend to fray at this time of the year, so just relax and take it easy, and hopefully this will be a relatively quick meeting. Aside from that, there are no announcements from me. I don't have any apologies. Conflict of interest declarations, Councillor Foster?
For certain properties in the
Last paper in PE, noted by Dominic. Thanks, Councillor Foster. We'll confirm the minutes of the meeting of the 28th of November. Happy to move. Seconder, Councillor Gilbert. Happy to second. All those in favour, please press 1. Brilliant, and we'll move on to the...
Councillor Free, Councillor Young, Councillor Wolf.
Councillor Wolf, Councillor Young. It's carried. We'll move on to the first report, 3.1. Councillor Gilbert.
Thank you, Your Worship. Kia koto. Just to explain the background, I'm supporting these recommendations, and the recommendation is to withdraw council and iwi representatives from the Te Awarua o Porua Harbour and Catchment Joint Te Awarua o Porua Harbour and Catchment Community Trust. The background to this, just to explain the groups. There is a joint committee which has got representatives from the various councils, including Greater Wellington, Porua Wellington, and also the iwi. So that's a joint committee that meets at Porua City Council offices. There is a community group that has council representatives and iwi representatives on it, and that's the one we're referring to here. There's also a whai tour, which is coming to an end. So it's a bit cluttered. And it is true that there's a bit of duplication in that the council representatives and the iwi representatives are represented both on the joint committee, council committee, and the community trust. Now, whether the presence of the councillors on the community trust leads to conflict is debatable. I mean, some say yes and some say no. The fact is that the iwi have not been present at the community trust for a while. The Porua Harbour has withdrawn its representative, or seeks to withdraw its representatives at Porua City Council. So that really leaves us, in a practical terms, that we have no option to withdraw our representative, and probably Greater Wellington is leaving tomorrow. So what's my personal view? My personal view is that I would have been quite happy for council representatives to be on the community trust, but I'm ambivalent about that, and having seen the lie of the land and the reluctance of the iwi, the reluctance of Porua City Council to engage, I think there are other ways to go forward. And what I've been pushing in the last 3 or 4 months is that the community trust does have a speaking spot, not representation, but a speaking spot at the joint committee, that the community trust can engage in workshops where appropriate, and that the community trust continues to be supported by the councils. So I think the community trust is in a good position to push forward as the community representative, pushing the case to improve the Te Awarua or Porua Harbour. It tidies up the thing in that the council representatives are on the joint committee. So I can live with, and I think it's a reasonable compromise, and I'm really happy that we've cemented the place of the community trust in the political scene, because we definitely have to have community input to the Porua Harbour, because we cannot simply leave it up to the politicians. The Porua Harbour, Te Awarua or Porua Harbour, is in a difficult state. It's a long-term game, 50 years, decades to get it right, and the community must be engaged in making sure the politicians fulfil that. So I support the recommendations that the territorial authorities withdraw from the community trust, and that be put to a vote of the community, special meeting of the community trust in due course. Now, I just want to take this opportunity, just take half a minute, to just recognise the passing of Professor John Wells, a Victoria University ecologist, was a founding member of the community trust, was an excellent research scientist, educator, and put an enormous amount of his time into the Porua Harbour, and it's thanks to John and others like him that the harbour is starting to recover. So I'd just like to recognise him. He passed away recently. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Gilbert. And a second, Councillor Foster, wish to speak? Anyone else wish to speak in debate? No additional speakers. Okay, report's been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please press 1 on your machine. That's unanimous. We'll now move to report 3.2, and I'll ask Councillor Dawson to introduce the alcohol control bylaw.
Thank you, Your Worship. Councillors, we had an extensive debate on this a week ago of the alcohol control bylaws, and this now comes to Council for ratification. So essentially what we are doing is we are ratifying the decision around the current bylaws that we consulted on. So that does result in some reasonably minor changes to the boundary for the liquor ban at Mount Victoria and the removal of the Centreport land from the bylaw. What it doesn't do is bring in the Kilburnie or Kelburn parts that we agreed last week to go out to consultation on over the next 6 months. So that will come back to us in June. So congratulations, your Christmas present is you get to do this over again in 6 months' time. But ultimately what we're doing now is approving what we agreed to last week in terms of the bylaw as it currently stands. So I move the recommendation that we adopt the alcohol control bylaw as attached in our papers.
And Councillor Simons, I understand you wish to second, you wish to speak? Okay, no one wish to speak to the bylaw? Councillor Kelby-Freeman.
Your Worship, I'd like to pay tribute to Councillor Dawson and the officers for the work involved in this. I was tempted to seek an amendment whereby the Council notes the resolution of the City Strategy Committee to begin a consultation on the Kilburnie alcohol bylaw, but on reflection, I don't believe it needs in a formal meeting a formal resolution, but I just wanted to emphasise, for the sake of the record, that I'm very happy that we're moving in that direction for Kilburnie as well. Thank you.
Councillor Free.
Look, I just wanted to be clear, and I've just checked with Councillor Dawson because it isn't specifically mentioned here, but I'm satisfied too to vote for this, knowing that we are going out with a consultation to Kilburnie. And I've had it confirmed from the community over the last few days that they're extremely grateful for that decision. I mean, obviously the final outcome of that won't be known until we've gone through the consultation, but they're heartened that we got to that stage and made that decision.
Councillor Wolfe.
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. I endorse the views of Councillor Free, Dawson and Kelby-Freeman. I was there on Saturday morning. I talked to the small businesses. They were tremendously grateful for us going out to consultation. I also saw some ugly things down there that involved alcohol in the morning. So, you know, this consultation, it's important, and I think that what we've come to, particularly via Councillor Dawson, is something that's really good.
Councillor Dawson, right of reply? No need to write a reply? I do like your new shirt, Councillor Dawson. I'm not sure if that was your...
Thank you. This is my Your Worship, this is my very calm acknowledgement of the season. I should actually acknowledge my colleagues to my left who are doing their best to bring a little bit of Christmas to the council chamber, but only a tiny bit.
I wasn't sure if it was a sign of your changing sensibilities or whether in fact we put a red hat on you, you'd look like a rather good Christmas tree. Councillors, the recommendation be moved and seconded. All those in favour, please push 1. And against? Do you wish to have your vote recorded, Councillor Pannett? Thank you. Okay, we're now going to move into public excluded. Councillors, I'm happy to move this, seconded by Deputy Mayor Day.